looked inside the arena and just check if they were there. This way it kind of eliminates any buys or waiting for another team. And even still, even though I'm doing this even 15 minutes before the match, we still sometimes have people that just don't show up. Just gonna make sure I have everybody that I've seen. I've seen all these people before. Okay, so I got 14. Ooh, I gotta make the brackets right here, right now. Let's make those brackets here, guys. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's go with that. I'm going to post the brackets inside the Twitch chat for you so you can see them and follow along with me. I'm going to post them in here as well, so these guys can see. Whoops, that was a little too much. So our first match, let's take a quick look at this. I'm going to turn off a couple things. I should probably make it. Let's take a look at the bracket together here, guys. Destructive and Krupek is actually our first match. We're going to be following the challenge.com, and to make sure that the brackets end up even in the quarterfinals and semifinals, actually it gives a couple people buys. So we're going to have to this is the way challenge.com does it, and it's kind of nice too. It also makes me save all the wins-loss ratio, so I can add those into the season later on. Alright, let's jump back into the match here. I'm going to turn off my webcam and my event list so we can just focus on this match a little more. Let's say this should be Krupek, and I think this is made in USA. Yeah, let's take a quick look over here. Destructive, this is who I wanted, and we have Krupek over here. This is who I wanted. Let's take a quick look at what Maiden's running. He's got the Ranger rune, interesting. Marauder with a great sword. I love this. I love seeing these here. I think Soul Beast. Ooh, interesting. Soul Beast longbow, great sword. Marksmanship and wilderness. Let's take a look at Krupek. He has been very, very strong in these tournaments that we've been having. Sword with great sword. Domination, dueling, and Mirage. He's been a veteran of these now, I would say. He's the gentleman that does it for the EU side, so he's coming over here. EU invasion. Krupek. He's one to watch. We're gonna. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading a whisper. I can't read it right now. Now that this is a map where the upper terrain, that little platform, makes a huge difference, especially if you have ports or anything, or Johns, things of that nature to get up there. You really have an advantage, or range. Big damage coming out to Maiden. Let's take a quick look at that replay, guys. Holy moly, that was huge. And this is a best of 3 series. As you can see, he puts the big burst down. They've separated each other. Really, really, really dangerous stuff. And there's that big burst coming, chunking him down, literally almost 3/4 of his health done in a fraction of a second. Really nice burst coming out of Krupek. Very, very, very impressive stuff. Now we're going into game 2, Maiden USA versus Krupek. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I do these every single day. If you look down below, you'll see my schedule as well over here. Let me just make sure my mic is still on. Here is the Discord if you'd like to join us. I would really appreciate it. You can keep track of, oh, let me let these guys know it's best of 3 series. And that's the Discord, guys, and I really would like to support as many streamers as we can, so these are all the Guild Wars 2 streamers that I highly recommend. I think in the past 8 days, I think we're 8 days in a row now having over 1K viewers on Guild Wars 2. I've started streaming maybe about 3 months ago, and that wasn't a regular thing that happened often back then when I was doing it 3 months ago. And as I mentioned, 3 days in a row we've been over 1K, so support your streamers. And I think even yesterday when the patch came out, we got just around 3K viewers, which is really nice for Guild Wars 2, considering you, and even ArcAge Unchained, the new one, we've been beating them for the past couple of days. Obviously, it's nothing compared to WoW, sitting at 60K. Alright, where's Maiden? Let me take a quick look. Maybe they already, yeah, there they are.
Yo, Mike.
Hey, Krupek, what's up, buddy? Oh, hey, Krupek, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, just went on Discord so I can speak with you while playing.
Okay, perfect.
We had like 500 gold for our tourneys today.
Nice. That's really, really nice to
So,
see, man.
so someone sent it gold to us,
Sweet.
so we will have for next tourneys.
And this is the gentleman that does the EU sides of the tournaments. He's going to be holding another one this Friday, guys. And here we go. We're about to watch him in
One v
action.
one,
Yeah,
1v1
yeah.
this time.
1v1 on Friday on EU side if you guys are interested in that. Here we go. Maiden versus Flossing Addict. That is Krupek, the gentleman you just saw. We're going to be watching Maiden for this. Nice range damage over there. Maiden's in a big trouble over here. Tries to get the barrage down. Does get a lot of damage out onto Flossing. Krupek's in a little bit of danger. He ends up healing up, I believe. No, I was... Oh, big damage. Nice mitigation coming out from Krupek. Let's take a look at that highlight really quick, guys. I'm going to send the mail over to Floss and Maiden. Thank you so much, Maiden, for entering. I really do appreciate it. Our next match coming up is actually going to be Kyle versus Lighter, guys. Kyle versus Lighter.
It's hard to play with such a lags.
It was actually a really good match. Big burst coming out of Krupek. This is not the first time we see this build coming out of here. And he has won one of these tournaments before, so he's going to be one to watch. Here we have the other two coming out. This is our next match. This is going to be Kyle versus a Lighter. I'm not sure if these are the guys I wanted in here. No, I'm not sure why it's you.
Should we speak about our Elo system that we wanna add to
Hold
tourneys?
on. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just making sure that he wasn't the guy who was supposed to go up. It's actually Kyle who's going up.
Mm-hmm.
So let me take a quick look at this action over here. He's actually running on Fireweaver. Sorry about that, guys. This is why I gotta be vigilant and write down a cap name so I know who comes in. Those burning stacks right there on Athena. He's not able to get those burning stacks off and ends up getting taken down by King Prideful. King Prideful, as we saw, is running that Fireweaver build. That's classic. I don't see too many of them in my tournaments much more lately. But he's running Fire, Arcane, and Weaver. He's also got Sword with Focus, Balthazar, and Sage Amulets, your classic for Fire Weaver. Athena, on the other hand, is running Great Sword with Dagger and a Sword. Doliak with Berserker, Beast Mastery, Skirmishing, and a Soul Beast. So here we go into game two. Let's see if he's got to be really attentive for that those big burns that he's going to be stacking. And he's got to know that once he goes in for that close engage, that's when he's going to be going for those burns. So he's got to be very mindful, have his dodges ready, make sure he's got clears ready, and try to get some pressure from range while they're trying to close the gap at the beginning. This match does favor the Ranger slightly because of the extra range that he's got on top of King Prideful. King going right for the top tier there, keep creating that LOS. This is also another good pot. Nice port coming from King Prideful over here, trying to keep the pressure onto Athena. Backing out, nice using that reflexes, I believe it was, no. It was the sword mitigation. Nice burning coming on. He's stacking it up. He gets 6 stacks onto him, and that's game. Let's take a quick look at that replay. I'm going to send Athena their 5 gold. Thank you so much, Athena, for participating. I really do appreciate it. And now we're going to be moving to our next match, which is actually going to be Zupop versus Alil. Zupop versus Alil.
Be right back on Discord.
So as I mentioned, guys, we're also giving an extra gold out. So both of them entered inside when they exactly what I wanted them to. And I didn't have to put in the map chat. So both of these guys, whoever loses gets an extra gold on their when I send them gold just for entering. So I do appreciate that from both of you. Let's take a quick look over here at Trunks. He's running Alchemy, Firearms, and Hollowsmith, your classic tools, Hollow. No, excuse me. What am I talking about? He's a pistol Hollowsmith over here, Condi. I've tried this build before with Rabbit Amulet. He's going with Wizards on this one. It can be very dangerous, especially Solar Focusing Lens I really liked when I was using it, but this is going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to watch Zupop for this. Yumi isn't sober. He's running Domination, Dueling, and Mirage. He's got Marauder on this one, Rune of Infiltration, Great sword with sword focus. As I mentioned, there's no Condi Mirages that we allow in these tournaments, and you have to keep the same class you start with, and you cannot change your 3 spec lines. You can change the traits in your spec lines, but you cannot change these 3. So no Condi Mirage, cannot change your class, and cannot change your 3 specs. Other than that, you're allowed to do whatever you so choose. But this is going to be a good match. I believe it should be a good one. Alil. I don't know if I've ever seen Alil in any of my tournaments, so I can't be too sure. Trunk the boy, yeah, he's a beast. He's going to be a crowd favorite, but he's got to go through Krupak. Krupak is a beast, guys. He's the EU boy. We need some sort of NA hero to come out and stop the EU boy from winning another tournament. Big damage over here. Nice mitigation. Yuumi Singh, he's in a little bit of trouble, creating that big distance, porting out, just pushing that W. He's got to be careful here. Trunks going up top. This way he can close the gap as well as stay LOS. Yumi's in a little bit of trouble. Use that sword and evade. Drops the... Oh, he's going to be really... Tries to get the big burst, tries to get the push as well, gets the big greatsword damage, but he's just too low, and that's a really good job by Yuumi, keeping that pressure up, despite being low in health. It usually makes him more passive, but he doesn't have a choice at this, and sometimes your best defense is good offense. Yuumi just trying to stay alive here, using that sword evade one more time. It doesn't look good for him. That burning stacks is probably going to take him all the way down, and that Trunks, that takes it. Game 1 going to Trunks. Really nice stuff over here. Let's take a look at that bracket, guys, so we can just kind of see what we have going on so far. We've already had these 2 matchups, Destructive versus Krupak. Krupak moves on to actually fight me. Ooh. But if we have anybody in Twitch chat that wants to enter, you can take my spot. I'm going to be giving that out. So just whisper me in game or type in Twitch chat if you want to enter into this tournament. I always enter myself so I can allow anybody else that enters to come in. We just saw Kyle versus Lighter before. That was Lighter taking it in a game 2 sweep. Now it's Zoopop versus Alo. Zoopop actually taking, or Trunks taking game 1. Let's go back to the action. They're about to start up here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a good one. I'm going to watch Trunks for this. He's running that Condi. Is he still running the Condi build? Yeah, he's got firearms over here. This is very nice build. I like this build. I run it kind of on my Scrapper, similar with these 2 traits, except I take up her. Anyways, that's enough about that. Here we go. Trunks versus Yuumi. Going in for the quick stealth, tries to get that flamethrower very fast onto Yuumi, but that's going to be hard to get that flamethrower onto the Mirage. Mind you, at the same time, he doesn't have too much in the way of Condi Cleanse. So if he's able to get a couple big burning stacks to stick, Yuumi can be in trouble. Really good job on Yuumi over there. He's trying to get that prismatic singularity, doesn't land. Good evade, trying to get that big sword. Goes into a stealth and creates that big distance again, forcing the Elixir S. This is a good situation for Yuumi over here. He's got a couple cooldowns coming back. And Trunks has used his Elixir S, so he's able to really open up onto him, knowing that he won't have that oh shit button available to him. There's that Hardlight Arena dropping. Yuumi knows he doesn't want to fight in there at the same time. Trunks getting a little low, nice and gapping, creating that big gap between them, but Trunks closing it really quick. Nice Photon Blitz on top of him, just trying to stack as much candy. Just trying to stack that candy, man. Let's watch that replay one more time, guys. I'll let you see that. Yuumi, if you're, I don't know where you are, but I have to send you your 5 gold, so just whisper me and I'll send it to you. That's Zoopop moving in 2 games over there. Good job by Zoopop. Moving into our next, ooh, my master. This is my master Guardian. He's the one who teaches, or he's the one who encourages me to continue playing Guardian. Raffle versus Joe Uga. So Raffle versus Joe Uga. Oh, sorry, Yuumi. Send me a whisper, please, sir. I forgot to send you. Yes, sir. Okay, Raffle. I'm pretty sure I did schedule Raffle. So I know Raffle is here. Is that him? Yeah, that's Raffle. Now it's just Ooga Booga. Let me see if he's here. Yeah, there he is. Let me just whisper him really quick, guys, and see what's up. We're listening to For the Horde in the background. Warrior music. Here we go. Yeah, oh, sorry, Coda. Yeah, there is. I might skip this map. This match. I'm just seeing. Give me a minute here, guys. He might just go down to Senga versus Melissa Cat. Senga versus Melissa Cat. Let me just let these guys in map chat know what's going on. I'll make him spaghetti. I'll make him spaghetti. I was reading his name and it said Alright, so it's Melissa Sutcliffe versus Senga. So here we go. We have both of them entering into this tournament right now. Let me just make sure it's the people that I want in here. That's Melissa Cat. This is Senga. Perfect. Let's take a quick look at Senga over here. I believe he's running, yep, Fire Weaver, your classic. No problem, Joe Ooga Booga. So Joe Ooga Booga is there. We're just going to move back to him afterwards. Balthazar Sword with Dagger. Water Arcane. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I should have noticed. He's not Fire, Water Arcane, and Weaver. I'm going to watch this a little bit. We got Melissa Sutcliffe over here. These two are both new to my tournaments as well. As I always say, guys, in every single tournament, I always get new guys coming in. So my pool to choose or to try to grab people to come in always gets bigger and bigger. So even in these slow weeks where I'm not able to get too many participants, we still managed to get about 14 people participating, which is really, really nice. Ooh, Inventions is Alchemy and Scrapper over here coming out from Melissa Sutcliffe. And these are both brand new to my tournaments. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. I think this might go to the map mechanic, and the first time we're going to be able to see it. So as I mentioned, after 2 minutes there is no healing, and there's an AoE effect that comes from both sides of the spawn areas that eventually encroaches into the center, killing anything that touches it. Nice fire drop down. He's trying to get some big damage onto Melissa over here. But he's a scrapper, so it's going to be really tough. But he has used all of his utility. He does have that Hammer 5 available to him to create a little bit of that, a little bit of a gap for him and be able to keep that pressure down. He does have the healing turret coming up. Will be in time, just in time to clear that fire off him. Melissa's really taking the advantage over here, getting better at the exchanges, tries to drop that fire one more time. Melissa's got to be able to have some sort of pressure onto him. Olsen's really having his way in this tournament so far, or in this matchup. Melissa resustaining slightly. There comes the turret again, and turret really comes back fast. It's got a 20-second cooldown. Ooh, Melissa stun with a nice DC on that one. Really big stun and knockdown. He's going to be able to take advantage, but he actually counters on that. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Maybe it was the slick shoes, I believe. Does he have slick shoes? Yeah, he does. It was probably the slick shoes, and he tripped up on it. Oh, that tricky little Melissa Sutcliffe. Sun still trying to keep that pressure, and that's what you kind of have to do onto the scrapper. We got 10 seconds left, but no, we're just not able to see the map mechanic. Unfortunately, that's Melissa Sutcliffe that ends up going back. Alright, Kodo, you're going to be taking my spot in the... oh, yeah, I can link the brackets. Sorry, guys, I should have done that earlier. Let me copy this. This is, we're skipped over Joe Ooga Booga for now because he is coming very, very, very soon. So we're going to do the other matches in the first round before we get to Joe Ooga Booga. We're going to be going back to that. And Kodo, you are the one that's going to be taking my spot into the tournament, sir. You are the new me. So here we go. Like I said, these guys are both new. Oh, nice. Excellent. Thank you for both entering in, guys. You guys are the best. Here we go. Scrapper versus the Arcane Water Weaver. Not sure who my money is on this one, but I'm going to come on Melissa Scuff. I always like rooting. So we're going to be doing Joe Ooga Booga last. He's going to be the last match we do in this bracket. Just giving him time to finish up whatever he's doing at the moment. Trying to get that big... That's just Hammer 3 is pretty nice. Not only does it do big damage, but it's also evade, but it kind of locks you in the animation for quite some time. Tries to get the tornado, and that could be very advantageous for Melissa, but already really low. Let's take a look at that replay. That's Melissa Scuff going down. Thank you so much for participating, Melissa Scuff. As I mentioned, everybody that participates gets 5 gold automatically, and every tier you move up, get an extra 5 gold. So that was Senga that moves forward into this in a 2-game all, taking that in a clean sweep. So now we have Glass Cups versus Bionic Stereo. Glass Cups versus Bionic Stereo. I'm going to wait a minute for the map to reset before I type it in chat. Because as I mentioned, I keep saying that, as I mentioned that, and good job. Those are my 2 catchphrases I always say. So, Glass Cups and Bionic Stereo. There's the Glass Cups. I believe he's entered, so if he does lose, he's going to get an extra gold. That's Glass Cup. And now Bionic Stereo. Let me just type it in map chat. Let's take a quick look at Teneda's build. He's running Corruption, Invocation, and Herald. This is something we've been seeing very frequently the past 2 weeks, or maybe past 2 weeks. I've really been seeing a lot of these Condi builds coming in from Revenants. They've been moving off that Revocation Sword and coming into these Mace Axe over here, Shield Sword, Sunless, and Carry On. Let's take a look at Flaming over here. This is Bionic. He's running Fire Weaver, Fire Arcane, and Weaver. He's got Dagger with Sword, Focus, excuse me, Balthazar, and Sage Amulet. Bionic has been in a lot of my tournaments. He's definitely favored into this one. Teneda, Glass Cups, I think, again, another brand new person into my tournaments I've never seen before. No, we cannot swap classes. Kodo, we're going back to regular builds. Yesterday was a no holds barred 2v2. That one was pretty fun, actually. Everybody was using whatever they wanted, swapping in between rounds. It was getting pandemonium and mayhem. Nice leap coming over here from Teneda. Swirling Winds dropped by Flaming Candy, just trying to avoid any of that dip. Nice stun, break stun coming out from Teneda. Trying to drop that big AoE, tries to go for that Glint Elite as well. Flaming Candy mitigating a lot of that and keeping the counter pressure onto Teneda. He's got to be careful of the Condi himself. Those torment stacks is what's going to be really dangerous, and Flaming Candy's got to keep an eye on that. As you can see, 9 stacks. He was able to clear it quite quickly, but it already chunked a quarter of his health. Teneda now trying to keep the pressure onto. He has to keep the pressure onto him. If he's not, Flaming Candy just has, as you can see from his heal, every move he does, he gets a heal from. So once you get that pressure down, that 3 stacks of torment again coming out from Teneda, Flaming Candy's got to be very mindful of that. And at the same time, Teneda's got to be careful for those burning stacks. Good exchange coming out from both of them. It's just a battle of attrition over here. Really being careful. Nice combo on top of him. Teneda's actually getting the worst of the exchange. Flaming Candy getting now. He's in big pressure. Teneda really turning it down. They're both getting really low. Lands the big Glint Elite, but he actually ports up onto the stairs. Very clever move, but he ends up getting the down. Really nice stuff coming out of that match. There's no Condi Mirage, so at least you don't have to worry about those type of mesmers, Kodo. You're going to be fighting in my spot, in my stead, boy. Oh, yeah, you are fighting. You're fighting the Mesmer, the big DPS Mesmer. He's not Condi. He's big damage, and he's good, too, so get ready for that. He ain't no slouch. You're going to test your grit, boy. All right, game 2. This one's going to be a doozy. This does not sound like battle music. I requested battle music. Trying to look for better battle music here, guys. Game of Thrones music and North Ambience. Music from Warbingers. Jaina. No, I don't see anything good. Oh, what the hell? Why am I here? What's going on here? Why did I leave the match? Did everybody get kicked? Hypocrisy. Yeah, I think we all got kicked, guys. Did I do something? Did I do something while I was looking at my other screen? Yeah, just enter, guys. Now, I'm not sure what happened. Not sure why that happened, but just re-enter, guys. is game 2. Usually doesn't happen too often. The servers are usually quite stable. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this type of content, click that follow, click that subscribe. I do it every single day. We do have a Guild Wars 2 season. If you look below, you'll see the website for the Guild Wars 2 season, 1v1 and 2v2. Oh, and we also have a Discord. I highly recommend you join that. Here's Teneda versus Flaming Candy. This is who I wanted. Glass Cups, is that you, sir? Yeah, Glass Cups. So let's get back to that action. This was a really good exchange between the two of them in their first match. This is the best of 3 series. Then once again, trying to force him into that AoE. That was a really good move coming out of Tornado. Dropping the AoE, forcing the dodge, and then using the Elite right afterwards. Actually fainting on the Elite. Really good job. Nice job by Tornado. I didn't even notice the feint on the Elite. Just trying to keep the pressure on him. Good exchange coming out from both of them. He's got to try to sneak in those Torment stacks. And there you go. That's still 6 stacks of Torment with a lot of Condi cover. That's 8 stacks. Flaming Candy can't get it off. This is going to be trouble for him if he's not able to clear it. It looks like a death from coming out from him. Nice job by Teneda. Good counter pressure from Flaming Candy. This is another good match. Kudos to both of these gentlemen. This is probably the best match we've had so far in this first round, guys. Ooh, Teneda really starting to counter pressure. Flaming Candy really starting to recoup, but those Torment stacks are going to be killer. He's got 13 on him. He ends up going down. Really nice stuff coming out of both of these individuals. Nice, nice, nice duel. Ooh, baby. I can't remember if that's I think Tornado won one and Flaming won one, I believe. Yeah, we're going to be moving on to the next match, guys. Let's take a quick look at these brackets here. It's going to be Raffle versus Joe Ooga Booga now, guys. Raffle versus Joe Ooga Booga. I think Joe Ooga is here now. Oh, what happened to my music again? God dang it. Sid. Oh, here we go. Now it's starting. So here's both of these participants. So we've gone through Glass Cups. I believe that was Glass Cups that won that one. Yeah, Tornado won that. Let's go back to the match, guys, and take a look at these participants that we got going on. I'll post the brackets for you in the Twitch chat so you can follow along with us if you so choose. Here's Confetti. Let me just make sure this is who I want to be in this. This is Raffle, and this is Joe Ooga Booga. Joe Ooga Booga, my mentor over here. He's running Traveler, Mender Amulet, Axe, Shield, Sword, Focus, running the Mantra Firebrand. Very, very strong. We see this a lot nowadays. Zeo, Honor, and Firebrand. Firebrand's very strong. I'm very excited for the patches coming up. It's going to shake up the PvP scene a lot. I'm going to remove all rules, all bans, and I'm excited for the first couple tournaments after the patch to see what people come out. Let's take a look at Joe Ooga. He's running your classic Firebrand, Core Firebrand. Core Guard, Great Sword with a Sword and Focus. He's got Strength with Berserker's Amulet. He's one to watch. Definitely very, very strong. I have, if I do say so myself, I've beat him in a tournament. Thank you very much. Yep, I'd take off my hat. So let me just let him know they have to ready up to start. This probably be a good chance to show you guys the 1v1 tournament. Oh, no, they're starting up. I'll open the page just to be ready to show you guys a little later what it's all about. Confetti versus Joe Ooga Booga. This is going to be a good one. I don't remember. I'm sure I've seen Raffle before in my tournaments, but I had very, very, very like sprinkled in here and there, not too often. The name sounds familiar, but I just don't see it too often. Joe Ooga Booga. He's very active and very helpful on the helping with the tournaments, helping with the Twitch stream. Very, very supportive. Thank you so much, Booga. Ooga Booga's crying in the back there. Tries to get on Zealot's Flame. Nice shield of absorption coming out from Confetti, forcing Ooga Booga out. He does see that big shield, the big symbol on the ground. Tries to avoid it. Leap of Faith, trying to keep the pressure. Tries to get the Binding Blade. Not able to connect, keeping the heavy pressure on Confetti, who's in big trouble. Let's take a look at his nice counter pressure coming down onto Joe Ooga Booga. He's forced into using that renewed focus. Confetti backing out. He's gone through all of his tombs. He's gone through all of his mantras. He does have his renewed focus, though. Very, very nice job from Confetti. Bursting when he had to, knowing he does have the renewed focus to reset completely. Now, this is where it becomes a little more difficult for the core guard. He doesn't have as much sustain. Nice pull, nice push coming out from Confetti, trying to keep that pressure onto Ooga Booga. He doesn't have much left in his utility skills. He has used his renewed focus, but the pressure is on. He does land the Ray of Judgment, trying to keep that extra pressure. The Litany of Wrath is up. He's waiting a little bit. Nice axe pull coming from Confetti. Drops the symbols down, trying to keep that extra pressure. Goes into a Whirling Wrath. Whirling Wrath. Oh my god. He tries to counter pressure onto Confetti. Joe Ooga Booga's in a little bit of trouble here. He's not able to get down. Sword 2 ports right onto him. Confetti Infusions gets the down. Let's take a look at that replay really quick. Nice job. As you can see here, he really tries to keep the pressure onto him, as he's already really low, and he uses the port with the Shield of Wrath on top of him, so he's perfectly in the clear. He was in no danger. Now this is where the pressure comes down onto Joe Ooga Booga. It's a make-or-break situation. He's down game 1. He's got to win this or he's eliminated, not moving into the quarterfinals. Here guys, and I'll show you really quickly. This is our website that we have for our 1v1 and 2v2 season, and here you can see our leaderboards. This is our 2v2 leaders for this season, 1v1 leaders for this season. These are last season's 1v1 and 2v2 winners. You can also see the rosters. So if we take a quick look at Cotton Mather over here, he's actually quite new. We can see that we don't have any of his class information, but this is the total of games won, games lost, games played. A little bit of interesting information about him. You can see not much is known of this traveling companion. One day he showed up to test his grit and continues to do so in spectacular fashion. Very, very strange hero that we have. Alright guys, back to the game here. They're about to start this bad boy up. Confetti Confusion taking game 1. Joe Ooga Booga, he does not want to lose this match. But as I mentioned, this is going to be tough. Firebrand versus Core Guard. Firebrand usually wins 8 out of 10 times, or even 9 times out of 10 times. Core Guards are usually very good in rotating +1. Not the best in 1v1. If they can get the big burst, there's just a lot of sustain coming out of Ooga Booga, getting some good damage. But then again, like I mentioned, Confetti over here, he's just able to resustain very quickly, and even having that renewed focus to reset all of his tombs is really, really dangerous, especially for Ooga. He's got to be clever. He's got to pinpoint his burst like a sniper. Nice Zealots. Gets the Ray of Judgment. I thought he evaded that, but he didn't. Joe Ooga Booga coming back in with the big leap of faith. Tries to get the Ray of Judgment. It is actually blocked. Drops the symbol down. He goes into the renewed focus. Let's take a look at Ooga Booga. Good pull over here coming out from Confetti. Tries to go in that Whirling Wrath. Again, I say it. He baits him into it. Now Joe Ooga Booga is just trying to create some distance. Waits for some cooldowns. And that Whirling Wrath, maybe if he doesn't have anything to combo in it, it is still quite intimidating. When you see that great sword spinning around, you know immediately big damage and get out. So it can be used as a feint or even a little tactic to get some distance. But that's Confetti that takes it. Let's take a quick look at that. That's Joe Ooga Booga that gets 5 gold for entering. Thank you so much, Joe Ooga Booga, for coming. I really do appreciate it, my master. Now, I think that's the end of our first round, guys. Let's take a quick look at who we've already gone through and who's going to be moving on. That's Raffle that moves forward in a 2-all game series. Now we're going to be having, actually, it's not me. It's actually going to be Kodo versus Krupek. Krupek is the EU boy representing the EU side. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to get back to the game here. So now it's Kodo versus Krupek. This is going to be an interesting one. That the High Burst Mirage versus the Revenant. I believe Krupek is still here with us. Where are you, Krupek? Yep, there he is, flossing Addict. Let's take a quick look at Kodo. He's actually running Warrior today. Very, very interesting. He's going Greatsword Dagger with Shield, Demolisher with Strength, Discipline, and Spellbreaker. Your classic Spellbreaker. Flossing Addict, as we can see on this side, Domination, Dueling, and Mirage. I'll leave you a second to take a look. And he's got Sword with Great Sword, running Fighter and Demolisher. He's one to watch. Very, very dangerous combatant. Very quick, very sneaky, can use any moment or any disadvantage to his advantage really quickly, just turning the tide of the fight with a very strong offensive game on him. Let's see how Flossing Addict does on this one, guys. And Kodo's a veteran of these matches. He knows how to work under pressure. And I haven't seen him in play Warrior very often, so it's almost like seeing a brand new player. I'm very excited to see how he does. And Flossing Addict right away of using the terrain, and this is exactly what he needs to do. He's got the range on the Warrior. The Warrior virtually has no range aside from maybe not even. He's not running axe. He doesn't have the axe throw. The Trailblaze maybe. Using the sword to mitigate. Now he doesn't want to stand toe-to-toe too long with Kodo over here. As you can see, Kodo getting the better of the exchange over here. Good port to the other side. Kodo can't make the leap yet. He's trying to get that Trailblaze, and he tries to dodge jump. Very, very narrowly making it. And that he paid the price for not making it, though. Flossing Addict using the terrain really, really well. And this is exactly why they have this slight advantage. Maybe if Kodo waits till the map mechanic and tries to force it, but he's got to be able to land those big jump dodges over here. Again, he goes for the whirlwind. Flossing Addict trying to close the gap a little bit, but he's not going to be coming into face-to-face with him once again. And there you go, using that fully. He tries to get that big leap. He does get it. And the whirlwind, now keeping the pressure, gets the shield bash. Flossing Addict doesn't have the chance here. He does eventually use the jaunt, or I believe it was the jaunt to get over. We got 40 seconds. I think this is the first time. Wasn't Kodo Rev? Yeah, he was Rev, guys. The class you start with is what you're stuck with. So he hasn't started any of the matches because I was the one, he's under my name, and I got a bye into the second round. So Kodo took my place. So he has never participated in the tournament yet. So this is why I don't mind allowing substitutes, and this is why I always enter myself. So if there's someone else who wants to come in, we can give him the opportunity to do so. And this is a good job by Kodo over here. He knows he doesn't have the opportunity. There's just going to be too much healing, so he's got to just pray on for a big, big, big hit. And now here we go. My favorite part of this map. 5 seconds left, and this is where you want to try to get some burst onto your opponent, but Kodo's doing a good job of LOSing. Now we're going to get some AoE. As you can see, there it is starting on that side, and you can see the AoE, there it is on that side. It will eventually collapse onto the entire arena, encompassing the entire surface as well, really forcing the competitors closer and closer together. Kodo's in a bad spot over here, and it's also going to be dangerous because once it starts to pass the stairs, there's no more going up onto those tiers. He does have the Rampage available to him. Kodo taking big damage here. Let's see if he goes for that Rampage. That's going to be huge, and here comes the AoE, really coming close now, and it's working its way quite quickly. They're in big danger mode. He does go for that Rampage. The rock throw, oh, that would have been clutch if he was making it, and this is what I mean about closing on them, very close. He ends up getting the down onto Flossing Addict, and now he's probably going to get the win. He falls into the opening. Flossing Addict does go down, and that's Kodo that takes that game. Let's watch that replay one more time. Very, very, very nice match. This is going in our quarterfinals, I believe. We're already getting some really strong matches. Krupak is one of the ones that were EU side, so Kodo over here for the NA boys trying to represent, keep the EU boy out. These are our tournaments. And Krupak, the guy that is fighting the Mirage, he is the conductor of the EU tournaments on the EU side. He actually approached me one day, saw me doing this, and he's like, hey, I want to bring this to EU. So now we have an EU division and we have an NA division happening. Our next tournament for EU is on Friday. It's going to be 1v1. Last week we did a tournament on Friday. Again, it was 2v2. On the EU side, they're bigger prize pools and only once a week. Here we go, Flossing Addict versus Kodo. That was a very interesting matchup, and it was a very smart tactic for Kodo at the same time, and even waiting and being very patient with that Rampage. He gets a little cucked over here on the stairs, but dodge rolls right back up onto him. Trying to look for Kodo, tries to get the big whirlwind on him. Nice full counter. Flossing Addict once again going to that abuse over there. Kodo trying to get the jump dodge. Flossing Addict doing a really good job of punishing his opponent when he creates that distance, creating that big, big distance in between the two of them, and just punishing him every time. Flossing does the leap again. Kodo just is going from back to forth. He's almost like a meat stick on this one. He's very strong. Let's see if he changed anything. No, Demolisher with Rune of the Fighter. Rune of Strength, I think, was still what he was using before. Goes for the shield again. Misses on the Bull's Charge. Nice port from Flossing Addict. This one looks like it's going to go to the map mechanic once again, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna need some more battle music or some more epic battle music. This is just not doing it. Kodo getting caught right there. Big burst coming out from Flossing, taking full advantage of that. And now, oddly enough, when they're on the playing field, same playing field, Flossing gets the better of the exchange. He's gone into Rampage. He's got 30 seconds, a lot of time to resustain over here. Tries to get him in the Whirlwind. Flossing seeing his opportunity. I think Kodo misinterpreted one of the clones being Flossing Addict. Flossing saw that and went in for the big damage. Not able to get any of the exchange down, but he gets some big burst over there, using the dash just to get away, create a little bit of that distance, Wing his way away. He does have the Mage Bane on him. Even if he doesn't get the proc, it still puts a lot of damage. Here he goes. 2 stacks of the burn. The bleeding won't do enough. He just is able to survive through that. My goodness. Skin of his teeth. He ports up. He goes down, looking for the LOS once again. Big pushback. Goes for the Bull's Charge. Doesn't land the Arcing Slice. He's trying very valiantly over here, holding on for his dear life. But that's actually Flossing Addict that takes it. And this is another one of the reasons why I really like Game 3s. It allows... sorry, Hannibal. Sorry, guys. Cannibal asked me. There's a lot of people who ask me if they can join after they see it's participated or it's already begun. And then usually I don't mind it, but after the first round, I don't like usually allowing someone to come in after someone has already done a couple matches. Just feels a little unfair, but I can use them as a substitute. So if you do still want to enter and you feel like coming in, you just whisper me and I'll use you as a sub. So maybe that someone doesn't show up, that we can use you. But usually when we get into the second round, everybody has already played, so they're pretty much well invested. And as I mentioned, we're using the AT reward system. So as you move farther into the tournament, you get 5 extra gold. So first round 5 gold, quarterfinals 10 gold, semifinals 15 gold, second place 20 gold, first place 30 gold. So here we go, Flossing Addict trying to get that big burst. Nice dodge from Kodo, and he's using that Whirlwind as a big gap closer. Very nice job. Shield puts up a shield right away to block a lot of that counter pressure coming up from Flossing. Big stun. He goes into that distortion. Tries to get the 100 blades, but notices the distortion. Tries to time the Whirlwind right after, but he's not able to connect on it. Again, tries to get that big greatsword over here. Nice port coming out from Flossing. Gets big damage onto Kodo. Nice pushback, creating that distance. And he tried to get the greatsword down onto his body, thinking Kodo was going to get there a little faster, but he didn't. But that was a nice play from Flossing over here. Again, he's playing that kiting game. This map is very, very abusive for that, so you got to be ready for that. Kodo using the warrior. Nice damage coming out from him. This is big danger zone over here for Kodo. He's got to get some counter pressure. He does get some counter pressure. Tries to get the Whirlwind. He's a little bit nice. Gets the Eviscerate, I believe that was. I'm getting quiet because this is getting epic right now. Flossing is really low over here. Kodo's super low as well. It's only bleeding that he has. He goes into the Rampage, gets the rock throw, but it's blocked. He tries to charge. He does get it. Oh my goodness gracious. That was a really good match between Kodo and Flossing. That's called Flossing. That takes it. Thank you so much, Krupek, for participating. I really do appreciate it. That's Kodo, our NA boy. Represent. What's up? Woo woo, NA boy. Thank you. Now we're going to be moving on. That's actually, when you see Mike in there, that's actually Kodo. So that's a 2-1 series here. We're going to be Lighter versus Zoopop. This should be a good match. Both of these guys are really strong. I believe Lighter's running on Mesmer. So it's Zoopop, Trunks versus Lighter. That was a really good match. Really, really entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And I want to be able to, I want to learn how to clip instantly. So maybe it's Shadow Play or something, but I want to instantly clip and then take a montage of all my week's 1v1s and 2v2s, put them in a big collage, and then put that onto YouTube so we can see all the highlights of the week, you know what I mean? I'm going to start, that's something I'm going to plan on doing, and I think it'll be really, really cool to see, like, maybe a 2-minute clip of all the really cool highlights of that week from the 1v1s, 2v2s, and even maybe the Fashion Wars and the viewer choice events that we do. So here we go into game 2. This is going to be really interesting. He's got Sage Sword with focus on this one, Fire, Arcane, and Weaver. Let's take a look at Trunks. He's using that Condi pistol. I think it was pistol. Yeah, my boy, Trunks. This is my man. Going for that pistol on the Condi. This is going to be a good one. And Trunks has participated in a few of my tourneys, and all these wins and losses count towards the playoffs. So this is the regular season that we're in, and I record all your wins and losses, and I enter them into the website. Nice port coming out from Prideful over here. Trunks has got to be a little careful. He doesn't have too much in the way of Condi clear. He does have Elixir C over here and Toss Elixir C plus the combo from the healing turret. Tries to get that Photon Blitz. He's going to be trying to get that big Condi. The problem with Condi NG is he doesn't have too much Condi cover. So it's quite easy to clear it. Nice CC coming out from Trunks. Breaks the CC really quickly. Trying to get a big damage on him. Just auto-attacking from far. Poison from the 2 on pistol. Photon Blitz again, and Photon Blitz is very dangerous. He's got those 3 stacks of burning, and 3 stacks alone can do a lot of pressure. He uses the healing turret to clear that really quickly. He goes and tries to use the Prime Light Beam, but he's not able to use it. It's still on cooldown slightly. Maybe he'll try it again. Uses the glue shot to kind of immobilize him. He's got Swirling Wind, so there's nothing can get through there aside from the Prime Light Beam. Good pressure coming out from Trunks over here. King Prideful is kind of backing off a bit. He's got to be careful now. The next big stack of Condi will decide the victory on this one. He does still. There's the 7 stacks of burning. He goes for that Elixir Seed very, very quickly. Now King Prideful, he's got 5 stacks on him. He clears it really quickly. He's re-sustaining back onto Trunks. Trunks. This is pretty much a burn battle over here. You got to be really careful. They're watching their burns left and right. They don't put out too much physical damage. It's mainly the burn. Tries to get the Flamethrower onto King Prideful. But nice mitigation, dodging out of it. We got 17 seconds here. Now this is where it gets dangerous. This is the map mechanic. You cannot heal. You want to make sure that you top up as much as you can. And at the same time, you want to make sure that you put as much pressure onto your opponent right around now. This way that you put that pressure down, bring down their health so they can't heal. And they start the map mechanic with a much lower health. So here we go, guys. No more healing, and if we back up over here, you're going to start to see the AoE is going to start to come from over there, and it's coming from the other side. Now we have Trunks, Ooth, and King Prideful both sitting around the same amount of health, 53% and 61%. They're being very, very, very attentive on their movement, where they're placing themselves. They're trying to get that big burst of fire damage onto each other, because as I mentioned, there's no healing, but if they're quick on their clears, maybe they can mitigate most of that big tick. Oh, King Prideful, very interesting move coming out of him, but Trunks, read that pretty well. Looks like it looked like King Prideful. Let's take a look at that replay, guys. As you can see, you'll see King Prideful running towards the AoE and then porting right back, trying to catch Trunks off guard, but I think he already cast it onto the Prime Light Beam, which trails onto your target. So as soon as Trunks ported back up, the Prime Light Beam targeted right to him, blasted his face off, got him in the big CC chain, Photon Blitz to follow, and he ends up getting that big win. So that's Trunks taking game 1 in this best of 3 series. Second match in the quarterfinals, and so far these matches have been very exciting. I've been enjoying these very good. I think we just finished Krupek versus Kodo, and that was a beast of a match. Holy moly, guys. I enjoyed that one. Now, who's going to stop Kodo? But I'm already happy that Kodo eliminated the EU. Well, I'm obviously very tight with Krupek, but I like creating that little bit of rivalry. EU versus NA. Stopping the EU, boy. You ain't getting no title today, my friend. So here we go into game 2, King Prideful versus Trunks. King Prideful's got the pressure on him. The wall, his back is against the wall over here. We need some better battle music over here, man. Give me that good battle music. Let's see how this one turns out. King Prideful coming in now. Gets him in the big interrupt, trying to get that burn onto him really fast, but he's actually using the Hard Light Arena on this one, so it's going to be a little harder for King Prideful. Trunks, what did he switch into? He went back to Web, but don't know if he was using Wizard Amulet before. He did make a little change slightly to his trait line on Hollow Smith. Drops the Swirling Winds. King Prideful coming out really ham. Gets the Prismatic Singularity to give him a little bit of distance and a little bit of time to get that healing turret. But King Prideful is not messing around on this game. Really keeping the pressure on him. Giving him 0 quarter. Just no breathing room whatsoever. He smells the blood and he's going for it. Trunks Ook is in a lot of danger over here. He's in the red zone. He's trying to get away. He has no more. And down he goes. Really good job by King Prideful. Just a man possessed in that tournament, in that match. Holy moly, that was very exciting. Just going berserk mode. Now we have another game 3. Second game in the quarterfinals and already another game 3, guys. Woo, baby. These tournaments are getting more and more and more skill-based. There's really strong players coming into them. And the old players that I've seen before are starting to come back with a lot more, like they're just improvement all across the board. So I'm really, really, really happy to see that. And we always get new people coming in. I are solicited in all different places, and we're always getting these new guys coming. So it's really nice to see that. Just trying to increase the population, create a little community event and a community. I'm trying to create some sort of community, not so much salt everywhere. So thanks again for watching, guys. I really, really, really do appreciate it. I could not do this without you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So here we go into game 3. This is gonna be good. Trunks Ook versus King Prideful. Now let's see if Trunks Ook brings out the same tenacity, or if he's a little more timid and he's like, "Whoa, fuck! I gotta watch out for this guy." Or let's see if he goes ham. The first one who connects the big burst first, I think is gonna start to take the advantage and just snowball from there. But we're gonna find out here. Trunks going into the stealth, trying to close the gap onto King Prideful and slowing King Prideful right away. You know, and he getting the better of the position. He going for the tornado right away. Comes right out of it, knowing that he's not going to be able to get anything. Possibly allowing King Prideful to set up his burst. Trunks Ook trying to create that distance, but King Prideful now it looks like he's starting to turn momentum. This is exactly what I mentioned. Who lands the burst first? He's already going through his healing turret already. This could be a little bit of bad news for him, but Trunks Ook keeping the distance. Now that's what you need to do against these allies. That's how they put that. Once you're within that 200-yard radius or 200 radius, that's when things become dangerous against these allies. If you can kind of kite them and stay away from there and keep damage up, then you'll have to probably be able to take the advantage. There's no real counter to a fire ally, a fire weaver. Trunks is in big trouble. That burning's going to stack. He's able to clear it, but he re-sustains on it. He does have the toss elixir and the invis, but he doesn't use the toss elixir. He's being very patient. He tries to get that... he does get the flamethrower 6 stacks, but he clears it very quickly. And that's the problem with the Condi. Trunks Ook actually enters into this. Thank you so much for that, guys. I really do appreciate you coming, Trunks. That's 5 gold for you. And that's a lighter that moves forward into our tournament so far, guys. Let's take another look at our brackets over here. That's a lighter that eliminates Zoopop in that 2-1 series. And I record all of these matches, guys. We put these into the 1v1 and 2v2 season. Our next match is going to be Poisonwell versus Raffle. So Poisonwell versus Raffle. Just go back to the action and see these guys coming in. Yeah, we have both of them coming in. And I'm really happy with how quickly these participants, and there's no trolling, everybody's super nice, everybody helps, man. These wouldn't flow and work as smoothly without the help of the participants. So as always, big ups to everybody participating. You guys are really, really nice. No confusion. When I call you, you enter, and it really helps. Just keep the action flowing. So Miss Poisonita versus Confetti Infusion. We haven't seen Poisonita yet. They're running Water, Arcane, and Weaver. Very interesting build here. I haven't seen a lot of these. Usually it's a Fire Weaver that dominates most of these 1v1 tournaments. Undead with Sage Amulet. We got Confetti Infusions. We've seen Raffle play in the first round. He's running here Axe, Shield, Sword, Focus, Rune of the Traveler with Mender's Amulet, running Zeal, Honor, and Firebrand. So here we go into game 1, guys. We're going to allow them a little bit of time. They can do their own thing. That they have to ready up in order to start. And if you don't know already, but the rules for this tournament is that the class you start with is the class you finish with. You cannot change your 3 spec lines, but you can change your traits and everything else. So traits, utilities, weapons, runes, sigils, amulets. No Condi Mirage. Best of 3 series. And map mechanic after 2 minutes. So here we go. Confetti Infusion did really good. He actually faced Joe Rububuga, the core guard, in the first round, which he did quite well. It was a stellar performance from both of them, but Confetti taking the win in the end. Now he's got his work cut out for him. Miss Poisonita's not running fire, as we mentioned, Water and Arcane. I believe it was Water and Arcane. Let me take another look at that really quick. Yeah, Water and Arcane over here. I believe this one's going to go to the map mechanic, in my opinion. It's just going to be a lot of kiting and a lot of try baiting, and they're just going to be waiting till the end. Right around the 30-second mark is where you want us to taking a look at your cooldown, seeing what you have available to you, what you can bring with you into the end of the map mechanic. And another little quirk to kind of keep in mind, the Ellie does have the advantage with a little bit of barrier creation, but at the same time they're not allowed to use their mist because it's considered a heal, so it's not allowed to be, they can't use it. Confetti actually getting the worst of the exchange on that one. Miss Poisonita is just misting out, but he resustains really, really quickly. And that's probably the biggest action we've seen so far in this match, and this is to be expected with these 2 type of builds with the high sustain. 45 seconds. It's just a war of attrition over here. They're probably just attacking each other out of formality, but nice combo coming out of here from Confetti. Big and dangerous. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look at that replay, guys. We were sleeping on that fight. Confetti was just softening him up, and then found his window of opportunity and just burst it down on him. Let's take a quick look at this. Look at that burst, just chunking him down really quickly. Really nice stuff coming out of him. Holy moly. Miss Poisonita was not ready for that one. But I guarantee you in this next match, they're not going to let that happen again. Got caught with their pants down, I tell you what. Here we go into game 2. Confetti doing really well. Strong performance. Hey guys, I'm just going to take a quick look over here at our 1v1 tournament. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, let's take a quick look while we wait for these guys. This is our 1v1 tournament website called Code Red Revival. Let's take a quick look at our leaderboards. These are our 1v1 leaders, and we only keep the top 12. I am going to be adding 2 more for the 2v2, and we only keep the top 12, and we put those guys onto the roster. But 1v1 have a little more in-depth roster stats, so if we look at Kodo, for instance, he's actually going to be changing. He's going to be moving up a little bit. He's got 8 games played, 6 games won, 2 games lost. You can see a little bit of his win rate, total points scored this season, highest scored in the tourney, total points in history. He's top tier player, becoming one of the staple players in these tournaments. There's a little bit of interesting info. And it's the top 12 guys that get in 1v1. They get a little biography and a little more in-depth detail. The 2v2 guys, not so much, because it's actually quite a lot of work. I already have a lot of things on my plate, so let's go back to the tournament over here, guys. We're also doing this on the EU side, so keep that in mind. Krupek, the guy you saw there before, the Mirage, the big damage. I'm going to let these guys know ready up to start.
Okay, final round.
This is not the final round. This is the final round of the best of 3. No. This is the second game and the third game in the quarterfinals. They've got Confetti, who took game 1. Now can Miss Poisonita's got her back up against the wall. She's got to win 2 in order to win this series. And this is Krupek, the guy in the Discord. He's the gentleman who runs the EU side. So if you guys are interested in doing the EU tournament, there's a 1v1 being held on Friday. Whisper him. If you want, Krupek, put your in-game name inside the Twitch chat so people know who to whisper.
Okay.
Confetti Confusion is kind of on the run over here. He's just trying to get away from a lot of this fire damage and stop Poisonita from getting into those stacks in general. I'm trying to save up a little bit on their cooldowns. There's Krupek. That's the EU gentleman that does the tournaments on EU side. There's a 1v1 on Friday. I'm not sure what the prize pool is, but he'll probably let us know what it's going to be.
For first prize, it will be like 250 gold.
So first prize is 250 gold, guys.
Yeah, second 150, and first prize 50 gold, and etc.
Perfect. So here we go, Confetti Confusions, and this is again battle of attrition. They really got to wait for their moment of opportunity, and Confetti did that really well in the last match, really taking advantage of the situation, seeing that little window and bursting through it. Shield of Wrath is up, trying to mitigate some more damage. Good symbol, tries to get the pull. Twist of Fate's right out of it. I believe it was a Twist of Fate that was used. Most likely. Now we got 35 seconds here. They want to keep an eye on their cooldowns, what they have available to them. They want to make sure they're topped up before that map mechanic hits, because there's no more healing. And you can see this in the veterans. The veterans play this very well. People with over 20 matches in my tournaments really understand the map mechanic, and you can see the difference between a newer guy and a veteran. They can abuse it very well. Confetti's actually in a little bit of trouble here. 10 seconds left. This is where Poisonita wants to keep them, trying to keep the pressure onto him. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. He does have his renewed focus available to him. He's in a lot of trouble. Poisonita getting the counter pressure right onto him. There's 0 healing now, but this is where the barrier starts to take a little bit of effect. Confetti's at a quarter health. He's got 4 stacks of burning. He's sitting really low at 30%. Miss Poisonita trying to take advantage over here, but can't get complacent. Confetti can easily turn and burn, as we see here. Nice mitigation. Burn leaving a lot of that out. Confetti's in a little bit of trouble going into the renewed focus, but there's no more healing, and that's Confetti that Miss Poisonita that takes it. Goodness gracious, good golly, Miss Molly. There's 3 games that we've had in the semi for this quarterfinals so far, guys, and this is game 3 so far. Are we in the? Yeah, this is the quarterfinals. 3 matches so far, and 3 of them have all gone to game 3. What a turnout in this tournament today. Oh my goodness. Really good matches, really top tier stuff, nice back and forth play. Very, 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 I love seeing this kind of stuff, guys. Oof. I'm very excited to see the semifinals, who we have there, and then the finals, the creme de la creme. Who are we going to choose out of all these? I know there's a couple favorites. I've been doing this quite a bit. I think this is my 79th 1v1 tournament. So I have a slight good idea of who to expect to be in the semifinals, or the finals. But the great thing with these, you never, ever, ever know, especially with the map mechanic involved. It changes the dynamic of the duel so much when it gets there to that point. You really got to take it into consideration, especially bringing these types of like more sustaining builds who you might possibly get into that situation, as we see here. So Confetti versus Miss Poisoncita. They're both Confetti. This is Ruffle, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. New build available in 20 minutes. God damn you, new build available in 20 minutes. At least they're doing their maintenance, which I appreciate. So Confetti, once again, opting to be a little more passive. Nice stun from Poisonita, taking full advantage of the situation. And Confetti not clearing that very quickly. He's in a bit of trouble over here, but he hasn't used much of his mantras. Finally going into his second tomb, going through those pages lickety split. I tell you what, he's got 1 page left to him. And Poisonita just trailing really hard, not giving him any quarter. Tries to get the axe pull, drops that big symbol, counter pressing really hard. What a flurry between those 2 individuals in that situation. Wow, that was really nice to see. A very intense action. And that's what you'll kind of see when it starts to get to higher tier. They'll clash, they'll come in and clash together, separate, wait for their cooldowns. Miss Poisonita not getting the better of the exchange over here. Confetti really putting the pressure. Good axe pull, dropping him in the symbols, trying to get that win over here. But Poisonita getting some nice counter, forcing that renewed focus. Gets that big shield of absorption. Twist of fate tries to get out of it, forcing the fight into the symbols. Now Poisonita trying to keep that pressure. He's got 4 stacks of burning, clears it off really quickly. Goes into his tomb 3. Goes through those pages quickly. He's got 1 page. Uses the pull. Poison Well getting the better of the exchange. Confetti's in big trouble over here. No renewed focus, and he gets the down. Poisonita moving forward. Thank you so much, Confetti Confusions, for entering into this. You get 10 gold for this. Let's take a look at that highlight, guys. Really high action-packed gameplay. Really, really good. Our next match coming up, guys, is going to be Senga versus Glass Cups. That was Poisonwell that took that. Really nice stuff. I believe that was Poisonwell. Yeah, Poisonwell that took that. 2-1 series. Poisonwell taking that. What did I just do? Shucks. The game actually forced me out to update, guys. So let's just give it a second, and we're gonna wait for this update really, really quick. I knew it would do this to us halfway through the tournament. At least the match did finish, and it didn't kick us out halfway through there. I might as well take this time to solicit you. This is Glass. My game restarted because of build. Yeah, same. Everybody's. I think everybody's game restarted because of the build, guys. So just give it a minute.
Meanwhile, we can talk and say about our Elo system that we wanna to do.
Well, let's talk. Let's talk about that a little bit later after the stream, so we know all the details, and then we can give out some good information. But if you guys like this type of content, check out my highlights video. That's where all the 1v1s, 2v2s, fashion wars, viewers' choice events, all that good stuff is. We're just re-entering now. The Guild Wars 2 forced an update on us. So we all got kicked from the tournament. We're all just going to have to re-enter. So thanks for your patience, guys. We're going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway at the end. It's going to be one of those codes. You're going to be getting a little mini, 2 boosters, a little pack, and 10 gold. So stick around for after the tournament, guys. We're going to be giving that out a little later this class. Alright, we're just going to have to re-enter into there. Where is my arena here? Everybody's updating, guys. We're just going to have to wait for the update. And, how are you doing the 1v1 on Friday, Kupek? Are you doing the sign-ups on the webpage?
On Friday?
Yeah, are you doing it the same way you did it for the 2v2? Sorry, guys, with the sign-ups?
Yes. The same type of registering, and we gonna add something like elo system, so we can play opposite teams, EU and NA, at the end of the season.
I'm very excited for that. And that's just to give you an idea, guys. We wanted to do this a long time ago, and we finally put it into action. And we're also looking to do a ELO system, like he's talking here, something that we can use for the EU and NA, and it's something to kind of look forward to. Spread your cloud a little bit, something to be proud of in game, and then just giving you another extra thing to do and be part of the community. This is the main reason we do this, and there's no we don't like anybody trash talking or putting people down or anything of that nature. Obviously, there's a little bit of trash talk. It's competition, guys. We need that. But here we go. We're going to start this match over here. We got Teneda. We've already seen them. This is the last match in the quarterfinals. We got Mace versus Axe and Sword and Shield. He's got Sunless with the Carrion Amulet. He's running over here Corruption, Invocation, and Herald. We got Sun on this side running a lot of Weavers with a lot of different builds over here. Not just Fire, Water Arcane, and Weaver. He's running here Sword to Dagger with Balthazar and Sage Amulet. So let me let these guys know. Ready up to start. Who was it who lost that last match? Let's take a quick look at our brackets so far while we wait for these guys. And that was Poisonwell and Raffle. Raffle was the one who ended up losing. Look at this, guys. 3 game threes already in our quarterfinals. I'm very curious to see. This is going to be Kodo versus Lighter. That's going to be a really good match. And the loser of this match, Senga versus Glass Cups, is going to be going against Poisonwell. We just saw them against Raffle. That was an exciting match. Another one. Really, really good. At the end of this tournament, guys, maybe an hour after the tournament, I'll be posting it into my highlights video for this 1v1 tournament. So if you want to see yourself or make a clip or post it somewhere else to show someone, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, they should hire us. Krupek is in the process of talking to a couple partners to help him out. And as well, I have one of the partners from ANET is trying to help me out as well. And I also, every month, I'll sign into to ANET and ask them to be partner. I've only been doing this for about 3 months, so I'm still, maybe they're waiting to see if I stick around. Nice Glint Elite. He ends up landing that on Sun. He twists the fates out of it. Now, Teneda did a really good job so far in his 2 matches before. Really strong performance, and he has battled the Warrior, and I think he's already battled an Ellie. A lot of Ellies in this tournament over here. Yusun getting, or I'm not sorry, I'm just going to say Sun, getting the better exchange over here. Teneda trying to just back out a bit, get his bearings a little more, try to build some traction, and re-engage onto the fight. But every time he comes in, Sun really gets the better of the exchange. Kind of leaving him at a little loss over here, forcing down that big LOS, or that big AoE, and that AoE from the Revenant is very, very strong, very intimidating to most players. Most people don't even cross it. That's how dangerous it can be. Sun using the Twist of Fate, trying to get out, dropping that fire field down. This is going to be another match that probably goes to the map mechanic. I have no doubt. Teneda sitting at half health most of this match over here. He's got to be careful. He's creating a little bit of distance, trying to get some cooldowns back, being a little patient over here. He's not able to get any counter pressure down on Sun, really leaving him to do whatever he chooses. And now when he does choose to counter pressure, Sun's got a lot of utility available to him. He tries to get that Glint Elite with the big AoE, but now he's fighting in the fire, tries to get the Sword 3 to mitigate most of that damage coming out and counter pressure. He does a good job of doing so. This is the first good burst he's been able to land on Sun all match. We got 15 seconds left of this map mechanic. He has used his heal, but now there's no more healing out for Teneda, and when that map mechanic comes, he's not able to heal either. So this is going to put him in a very, very sticky situation. He's trying to create a little bit more of a distance going up to that high ground. Trying to get to counter pressure. Teneda's sitting around 50% here. Map Mechanic has been engaged. No more healing. He goes into Crystallized Hibernation to kind of gather himself and figure out what he's going to do. Teneda doesn't look good. He's just trying to back out. But as I mentioned, brand new guys to this tournament don't realize that there's no healing. He did try to proc his healing, but to no avail. And that's Lieutenant Sun that takes game 1. Teneda can adjust to this. You can change slight aspects of your build. As I mentioned, you cannot change the class you start with, and you cannot change your 3 specs. So the 3 specs you start with are the 3 specs you have to stick with. But you can change your traits inside your specs. You can change your weapons, runes, sigils, amulets, and all that good stuff. So it does allow a little bit of counterplay, but it doesn't allow you to abuse it. Yay, Legendary Masters. Thank you so much for the donation, guys. And all these tourneys are sponsored by the community. I asked for so there's a couple big donators that I have, 5 or 6 big donators that I have that really appreciate the stuff that I'm putting out, so they always donate. And I also get a lot of little donations from everybody around the community sprinkled around, and this is what gives me the ability to give out these prize pools and create this AT reward system. So really, really big ups to all the community and all of my big supporters and my big donators. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I could not do this without you. I get a lot of love from everybody. There's not too much going on in the community. There's not too many events. So now that I do these, you'd be surprised. I get a lot of mail, a lot of people saying thank you. So it's just my way of saying thank you back, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Taneda versus Louis Sun, excuse me. I keep trying to go for Louis PTM because he's one of the veterans in our tourney, and I see him quite often. Nice port over there. Taneda going in a little more aggressive on this one. Nice stun coming out from Sun. Tries to get the Glint Elite. He manages to get it, but he breaks stuns out of it. I think that's 2 Twist of Fates that have already been used. Yeah, Twist of Fates have all been used. Taneda's got to be a little more aggressive here. And once you get the damage down onto an Ellie, once he's around half health, you just got to kind of constantly be on top of him because every move he performs, he ends up healing from. So once he's at half health and you're able to keep that pressure onto him, he's just not able to counter as hard, and you're just able to take advantage. Taneda, nice counter pressure over here. He's able to get full use of that heal on those burning stacks, I believe. Tries to get that CC from Lightning. He's not able to connect with it. Another good exchange and another epic match between both of these. Sun and Taneda going full ham on each other. Good exchange between both of them. Taneda just slightly one step behind. Drops that AoE right on Sun, but Sun's able to mitigate that. There's a lot of barrier coming at him. He misses the Glint. Nice port. Tries to get that fire damage. Good knockdown. Not able to capitalize. He breaks stun out of it very quickly. Another Glint Elite. I believe that was the... Oh, that was going to be really nice. But Sun right away mitigating. He's going to be dominant. Very, very strong performance coming out of here from Sun. And TDM... I mean, Taneda did really good in his other 2 matches, so to give big ups to you either way, Taneda, and just to give you an idea of the strength from Sun from this build. And he's not Fire Weaver, I believe he's Arcane and Water. Taneda going into Crystallized Hibernation. We got 15 seconds left in this map mechanic where there is no more healing, and the AoE starts to enclose onto the map. Now he's actually got him down really hard. Taneda does have a little window over here. Can he capitalize on it? He's just got to get close and close that gap on him. But the Sun is not giving him that opportunity. We got no more healing here. Tries to get the elite, doesn't get it. Tries to get the stun, doesn't get it. Tries to get the sword 3 to keep the pressure, doesn't get it. Crystallized Hibernation. Really good exchange. I just don't think he has it in him, Taneda. He's trying everything he can, pulling every trick that he has. But it's not enough. Sun taking it in a Game 2 series. Really good job. Now we're moving into the semifinals, guys. I believe that's... who is Sun? It's Senga. Senmail. That's 10 gold for you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Was it Senga? I just saw a mistake. Yeah, it's Senga that moves forward in the 2 games. Now we're going into the quarterfinals. It's Lighter versus Kodo. This is going to be the battle of the beasts over here, guys. I'll post the brackets for you in the Twitch chat so you can follow along with me too. Here we go. It's Koto versus Lighter. Both of these guys are previous champs. They've won these tournaments before, and they're both veterans. They've been in a lot of these. Lighter used to be in a lot of them way back. He doesn't frequent them as much anymore, but he still does maybe one every week or something of that nature. We have Kodo over here. He does frequent them very, very often. And you can kind of see it. I love watching these the guy starts, when he first starts doing this tourney to like maybe a month and a half later, you can see a significant difference in his play style and just the way he watches his opponent. And it's just really, really, really nice to see. And I can't help but think that I'm slightly a part of that. I try to believe that. It gives you the opportunity to watch yourself in a third perspective, watching the replay, seeing how well you did, where you made your mistakes, and watching other classes and other top tier players, what they do in certain situations. Really, really, really helps. Kodo over here, he hasn't used a rampage. He's being very patient on it. Taking a lot of pressure over here from King Prideful. He's got to be careful. Kodo doesn't have too much in the way of Condi clear, especially as the Spellbreaker. He's got to be careful with that Condi that King Prideful is going to put out. There's a lot of mitigation. He does have a lot of barrier, but he's really putting some heavy pressure onto King Prideful. And if he's able to keep this up onto him, I think he'll be able to start to take the momentum of this match. And even though he's kind of low, Warriors are always dangerous. At any moment they can turn it. As you can see, that big Eviscerate. He goes into the Rampage as his last-ditch effort. He's got to be careful. He does the Rock Throw. He does land the Rock Throw. Tries to get the big Eviscerate. Doesn't get it. Bulls charge right on top of him. A lot of good combos coming out of Kodo over here. But King Prideful ready for each and every single one of them. He's got the Mage Bane. But before it procs, he pushes right into him. Tries to get the Whirlwind. Good exchange coming out of both of them. Very an epic, epic fight. Kodo just trying to stay alive right now. He's got that Signet ticking away, regaining his health every second that passes. King Prideful's got to stay on top of him. Drops the Swirling Winds to mitigate any kind of projectile. He gets the big, the Bull's Charge. Tries to get the 100 Blades. Doesn't land it. Another big stun coming out from the Shield Blast, I believe. He does have the Breaching Strike, or the Breaching Strike. But that's it. King Prideful ends up taking the win against Kodo. Very, very nice exchange coming out from both of them. Kodo trying to do everything he can, landing some really nice combos and really good mitigation coming out from King Prideful. That's only game 1 in the semifinals, guys. We're going into game 2. Very excited to see what happens in game 2. Oh. I was wondering what happened to my music. Oh, and also here's the Discord too as well, guys. I highly recommend you join it and would appreciate it. This way you can keep track of all the events that we do in case you're not in game, and as well you can just come out and hang out with us in the Discord and things of that nature. Just do 1v1s or hang out and do unranked. There's a couple channels you can... Oh, did he make any changes? No, I doubt he made any changes. Let's see if Kodo made any changes. He does have the Shake It Off. He does have the Brawler's Recovery. He has Cleansing on his Dagger Shield. It's a decent amount of Condi Cleanse, that's for sure. Nice exchange coming out from Kodo. Trying to keep the pressure onto Prideful. Let's watch Prideful just a little bit for this one. He still has most of his Twister Fates available to him. Try to keep the pressure. Nice Mage Bane. Not sure what happened there. I think King Prideful's lagging just a bit. Just completely taking advantage of the situation. And shits right onto King Prideful. Definitely a big lag over there. It's going to be up to the 2 participants to see if they want to redo that. I'm not going to mention anything, but if they do decide to do that, if he asks them to restart and Kodo agrees, then I'll allow it. But this is just what happens sometimes, guys. You got to kind of roll with the punches. It's Kodo taking game 2, going to a game 3 again. The last 5 matches have been game 3s, guys. Very, very epic stuff coming out here. Another reason I like doing these is because you can use this as kind of like your scouting. You know, you're looking for a 5-man team to create for the monthly ATAs. You just go through the videos and start looking at who wins them all and start trying to pick those guys and try to gather them into your team to make a strong 5-man. Kodo is claiming the DDoS on to King Prideful. Now this is a game 3 over here. Everything is on the line. Tries to get him in that Whirlwind. Gets him in that Shield Bash. Uses the Twist of Fate to get out of it. Gets his own stun put out onto Kodo. Really good exchange coming out from Kodo. Nice mitigation, getting that big whirlwind on him. King Prideful trying to put up some countermeasures. He has to get those burning stacks onto Kodo. Again, really mitigating a lot of those big stacks that he's trying to get. And he finally catches him with a bit of it, but he uses to shake it off really quickly. He does have the Mage Bane. He's trying to get it to proc, but King Prideful is staying right on top of him. And Kodo is not trying to, he was just trying to get that Mage Bane to proc. King Prideful seeing that, taking full advantage of his back turn to him, and just pouring all the damage. And that's what happens when you get up to top tier. 2-3 seconds of complacency can mean 3/4 of your health just gone in an instant, just vanishing just like that. And now heavy pressure onto Kodo. He actually turns on the Rampage to try to create a little bit of distance, trying to get that Signet to proc a little bit. Big stun coming in, going for the Breaching Strike, doesn't land it, and that's Kodo that ends up going down. King Prideful end up taking that in game 3, moving on into the finals. Good job by Kodo. I'm going to send you your 15 gold, sir. Thank you so much for participating, Kodo. I think 16 because you entered before I told you to. So our next matchup is Poison Well versus Senga. Poison Well versus Senga. We have a lot of weavers in this one, and it looks like it might another weaver, 3 weavers, so 2. It's going to be double weaver for sure in our finals, but it's going to be a fire weaver or an arcane weaver. I'm not entirely sure. We got Yusun run over here. I think he's running the arcane water. Yeah, arcane water with sword dagger, Balthazar and Sage. We got Miss Poisonita on this side. Running sword focus, it's going to be arcane water again, but sword focus instead of sword dagger with an undead instead of Balthazar. So another battle of attrition over here coming up. I'm predicting it goes to the map mechanic. There's no doubt in my mind. There's just too much sustain, and they're both really, really good at Ellie. So none of them are really going to get caught in a big combo or CC chain. I don't believe. But I've been wrong in the past, and I can be wrong again. Starting off really well, Poisonita on this one. Let's see the counter coming out from Sun. Let's see what he counters with. Nice stun coming out from Poisonita, really muffing out any counter and really slowing and staggering his combos. Not able to take advantage of that big stun. Good exchange between both of them. Now we see Sun starting to pull a little bit ahead in the damage. There's so much sustain coming out from this. Is where it gets dangerous for Poisonita. They can't get too complacent. 5 stacks of burning over here. They're not able to clear it off, and it's just chunking them even though they heal. They're finally able to get it off, but they're already sitting at low health. Let's see them try to recounter onto Yusun. There you go, the recounter, but Poisonita is already in big danger. Yusun takes it really quickly. Very good job from Sun over here. I believe Sun is Senga. Is this Senga? Yeah, another brand new guy to my tournament. Yes, on Monday's 1v1, we had a brand new guy, Hanunu, end up winning it. And this is one of the main reasons I love seeing brand new guys. Sometimes they just come in here like a tornado tearing shit up, and we get to find these diamonds in the rough, and I think Sun might be one of them. Lighter might be, well, I'm not counting out Poisonita yet, because they are very strong and did very well in their battles in this tournament so far. So not counting them out yet, but that was a very good exchange coming out from both of them. A nice combo at the end from Sun, really starting to put the pressure down onto Poisonita, not able to resustain, and just taking full advantage of that in the end. So here we go, Poisonita and El Sun. This is their last match in our semifinals. After this, we're going to be moving into the finals. And we have a giveaway at the end of the tournament. We're going to be giving away one of those Quiznos subs. It's not Quiznos sub. I won't be mailing you a sub there, guys. But you're going to be getting a little mini. This is the little guy. Where are you, little guy? This is, ooh, cute. This is the little mini, and we're going to be giving out 2 boosters at the same time. So here comes Poisonita versus El Sun. El Sun doing a really good job. He's kind of sitting back this time, being a little patient. Gets the big CC on him. Poison uses the Twist of Fate to get out of it really quickly. Both of them going into fire, trying to get an exchange. Elsun luring them into the fire field, doing a good job of that. Please need to get in better the exchange over here. Sun's in a little bit of trouble here. He's got to be careful. He's trying to resustain, but he's still sitting below half. He does have a little bit of barrier. And as I mentioned, barrier doesn't allow you to be critted, so it really helps in sustaining. Good exchange. Poison Eater really keeping on the pressure, and this is what you really got to do. Make sure you stay on top of them. Elsun really starting to read. Gets all his health right back up, but he's gone through a lot of his utilities. As you can see, getting caught in that full counter and that full stun over there. Poison Well really starting to turn on the pressure. He's got to stay on top of them. Can't allow them any quarter. Sun's on a little bit of a back pedal. Poison is at the same time can't get complacent, using her last twist of fate over here. It's on cooldown. Lieutenant 10 Sun is looking for the counter. We got 45 seconds left in this map mechanic, and as I mentioned, when the map mechanic hits, there's no more healing. I'm surprised game 1 didn't go into the map mechanic, but this one looks like it might. But it ended in a flurry last match, so it might happen again. Here we go. It looks like shades of last match. Poison Eater's in a little bit of a hot spot. Doesn't have much utility to the availability. Drops the swirling winds to mitigate any projectiles. Let's take a look at Sun over here. He does have the lightning flash. If he does so too to use it. We got 15 seconds, and this is where you really want to look at your utility. Make sure you're not wasting anything foolishly, and you're going to try to put a little bit of damage down onto your opponent right around now, so when that map mechanic hits, they can't heal from it. But now they're going both into the map mechanic, both with 100%. Big heal coming up. Now you can see the AoE coming from both sides of the map, eventually encroaching. Sun is taking a lot of damage, but so is Miss Poison Eater, fighting for her life on this one. Sun is trying to back up, using LOS to as much as he can. Poison Eater using the Twist of Fate to try to close the gap and not take any damage while doing so. Sun fighting. Well, gotta watch out for that AoE. Miss Poison Eater's really close. Good exchange from both of them. Sun's just trying to run. Big stun. Oh my god, it's getting dangerous. Tries to get that lightning flash on him. Poison Eater's got to be careful, but at the same time has the advantage. Sun has no condies on him. He just needs one little bit of stack. He gets him in a big CC. Poison Eater might go down. He's trying to AoE. Now they got to be careful. Poison Eater ends up taking it. Oh my goodness. Shablam, but I want to cut this. Weaver is pretty boring sometimes, but that's why I like it only lasting 2 minutes. So when it gets to the map mechanic, it gets very, very exciting, especially when the AoE comes in. So literally, it cannot last more than 40 seconds, 45 seconds maximum, and then it ends. But that was a really good match, and I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just take a look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be the 6th match that we have in a row going to a game 3, guys. Holy shit. I'm going to start one of those ECW. Holy shit. Holy shit. Now, and it's not unfortunate, but at the same time, it might be a little lackluster for the first 2 minutes. We have 3 Weavers that are finishing it off. We have two Arcane Water Weavers and 1 Fire Weaver. But these are the 2 Water and Arcane Weavers. The Water Arcane Weavers are fighting right now. And then the winner, who's already moved on, I believe, is a Fire Weaver. This is game 3. None of them have that little extra cushion. It's make or break. Winner moves on into the finals. Loser goes home with their head hung. Once again, guys, if you like this type of content, click that follow, click that subscribe, or check out my highlights video. You'll see all my videos that I do, and I do an event every single day. You'll look down below, you'll see the website for the 2v2 tourney, my schedule, and a bunch of things of that nature, guys. As well, these are some other streamers that I highly recommend that you watch. Guild Wars 2 has been doing really well on the streaming platform. I started about 3 months ago, and I think 8 days in a row we've been over 1,000 viewers. Yesterday was about 3K viewers. Doesn't sound like much, but for Guild Wars 2 it's actually pretty good. Like I mentioned, I started 3 months ago, and we were always around 400 or 500. And the past 8 days, I don't know, the popularity has been really blowing up. But oddly enough, my tournaments this week have been a little low. And actually, no, I had 19 people sign up and 16 people participate in this tournament. 15 people participate in this tournament. So it's actually around average. Swirling Winds procced by over here by Poisonita. And once again, guys, this is probably going to be going to the map mechanic. Sorry about that. Just like I said, battle of attrition, just beating each other in the brain. And they also got to be a little more tactical on their utilities, especially when they start to get to the map mechanic. There's 55 seconds left. Ooh, Sun taking a lot of damage on this one. Good exchange. Poisonita trying to capitalize on this, and especially halfway through the map, they don't have as many cooldowns available to them. They got to kind of work what they have with. But now Poisonita completely turning the tide of events over here. Sun turning it around, but Poisonita really resustaining, turning it back onto Sun. Nice back and forth going here between these two over here. Nice classic battle between the Ellies. And it's nice to see Arcane Water versus Arcane Water. Usually it's fire most of the time, so really nice to see. They are running slightly different things. As I think one is Dagger and one is Focus at the same time. Here we go. This is where it starts to get spicy, guys. 15 seconds left in the map mechanic. Start looking at your utility and seeing if they can get some burst down onto their opponent just before the map. But last time they ended up both going into the map mechanic with full health, and it was just a match of game of cat and mouse running around LOS trying to get away from each other. And then AoE comes in quick on this map, and it has started. No more healing. Miss Poisonita is at a little bit of a deficit, sitting at 46. Sun at 57. They got to be careful. Good mitigation coming up from Poisonita. Now the big pressure is coming out. The AoE is starting to come close to them. It's going to be a factor now. They have to be careful. Poisonita doing a really good job. Still sitting at 26%. Only losing 20 so far. Already 25 seconds into this. Sun's being very patient, but doesn't look good for Poisonita. And that's it. Sun ends up taking it. Let's take a quick look at that replay, guys. That's 15 gold for you, or 16 gold for you, Poisonwell. Thank you so much for coming. Now we're moving into our finals. Let's take one last look at everybody that participated in this. That's Senga moving forward. So these are all the participants that we've had. As I mentioned, look at this. Game 3, Game 3, Game 3, Game 3. Oh, this wasn't a Game 3, excuse me. Game 3 and Game 3. Now we have a Lighter versus Senga, guys. And also, let's take a quick look at it. This is our Guild Wars 2 website. I'm just going to let these guys know. Lighter versus Senga. As you can see, we can see our leaderboards over here. So this is last year's leaders, or for season 18. This is season 19 that we're starting. This is this year's leaders. And also we can see more of an individual breakdown for our 1v1 competitors. You can see here there's a Malandi, total games played. We can take a look at Shiro, which is Soro. He plays Thief, handles Shiro, Guild AL, total of 9 games played, 5-1, 4 lost. Oh, the match is starting, guys. Let's take a quick look at that. And as I mentioned, it's Weaver versus Weaver. We have Sword Dagger with Balthazar and Sage, our Water Arcane and Weaver. We got King Prideful. He's a veteran of this, and Senga is the new blood. So let's see if Old Blood can take care of New Blood. He's running Fire, Arcane, and Weaver. So Fire versus Water Weaver here. Similar traits. He's running Focus though with the Sword with Balthazar and Sage. Another battle of attrition. That's what we're going to be seeing, guys. Thanks. There you go. And this is another reason why I really like posting my videos. You can see one of the participants is like, oh, do you record these? I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, thank you so much. I like to look back on them after and kind of see how I did. And that's the thing with third person perspective. You get to see, like, it's just kind of sit outside and see what you're doing and be like, oh my god, I did that. And you can kind of work on those little tweaks that you don't really notice. So I'm just going to reply to them really quick. Once again, battle of attrition, and King Prideful getting the better of the exchange between these two. Fireweaver, is Fireweaver going to be the dominant one here, or is it going to be Water Spec? It looks like, again, just a lot of back and forth. We got 45 seconds left of this map mechanic. It's a best of 3. This is our finals. King Prideful versus Sun. Both King Prideful is a veteran of my tournaments. He's won at least 3 of them in the past. Hey, thank you so much, Straight Frost, for the follow. I really do appreciate that, guys. Thank you, Straight Frost, for the follow. Every time you guys click follow or subscribe, really encourages me to keep going. I do an event every single day, just trying to bring some content and some community to Guild Wars 2. Now we got 10 seconds. This is where the match starts to get interesting. This is where we start to get really curious now. Sun versus King Prideful. There's no more healing in 5 seconds. Your Sun is in a little bit of a deficit, and great job by King Prideful. As I said, he's a veteran, and he sees the map mechanic coming. He doesn't want Sun to heal up, so just before the map mechanic hit, he came in and poured it onto him, hit him a couple more times to try to keep him where he wanted him. Now Sun has the advantage over here. He's able to start this with a little bit of extra gusto, and he's able to be a little more aggressive without having to worry about it too much. And now Sun's got to be a little defensive, and he's really got to pick and choose his damage. But, ooh, really good exchange coming out from Sun. King of Prideful's in big trouble over here. Map Mechanic's starting to get really close. It's going to be a big factor in this. He ports up onto Sun. King Prideful trying to disengage. He's got a lot of barrier up. Sun's in a little bit of trouble. Now it's going to come down. He's not able to get back up if he does have a port available to him. But Sun doesn't look good. The burning's going to tick down. He ends up taking him. And that's King Prideful who takes game 1. This is our finals, guys. King Prideful taking game 1. He's still sitting in the middle of the map mechanic. Just barely survives. Woot woot. Thanks again for coming out and watching this, guys. I really do appreciate it. This week has been a little slow for tournaments, but we've always had a minimum of at least 14, 15 people participating, so I can't really complain. This is we're about almost at the halfway mark of our Guild Wars 2's 1v1 and 2v2 season. I'm very excited to do the playoffs. Last season was only a beta. We didn't do a playoff season. I was just trying to test the ranking system, what sounds fair, what works, how are you going to get points, things of that nature. So here comes Sun versus Prideful. I don't think Sun made any major changes. No, it doesn't look like he made any major changes. I think they both know what's up. It's almost like a waste of time to push the buttons, so I'm sure they're just waiting till the map mechanic. They both know what's up. They both know it's kind of just like going through the motions. So might as well, guys, to take a quick look at the website. Let's take a look at this beauty over here. And as I mentioned, we also do this on the EU side. So here's our match, Code Red Revival roster. Here's the roster. So this is the guys who we're winning so far. Let's take a look at our he's actually the EU guy, Krupek. He's doing very well. He's 12-0 in this tournament so far, and I think he won 2 tournaments as well, so he gets extra points for that. He's a content creator for EU tournaments, programmer, and making his own video game. There's his win rate, 100%. It actually goes down now because this tournament today he ended up he ended up DCing, King Prideful ended up DCing. So then we can move on to the leaderboards. We'll see leaderboards season 19, 2019. You can see the current leaders. This is for our 2v2. This is their wins and loss. Shorts' team is doing quite well. They just don't have as many games as Control Freak, but Control Freak is doing just as well, 14-1. These are our last season winners. 1v1 was Anya, Black Bear, and Artemis. 2v2 was Naru's team, Control Freak's team, and Dry Dude's team. Here's our gallery. These are just photos from some of our tournaments, photos from some of our fashion war contests, things of that nature that we'd like to keep in here. And you can also post some if you choose. These are some of the videos, but I think I'm going to save this just for highlights, like really quick highlights, not major videos. There's the contact information, so if you want to join or if there's any things you want to suggest, you can. These are the rules that we have for the 1v1 and 2v2 in specific, so you can keep an eye on that. Alright guys, I think these guys have just returned, so we're going to return back to the match. Also, we have a Discord, so if you feel like joining that, guys, I highly recommend it. You can also keep track of the events and when we do them, so you don't have to necessarily be in-game. So here we go, Sun versus King Prideful. This is our finals. Game 3, they were best of 3 series. It's going into game 2. King Prideful has 1 match to his name. Now Yusun fighting for his life on this one. Good exchange from King Prideful, getting that big burst damage onto Yusun. And it's just like 3-4 stacks of burning for a second will chunk the shit out of you. So they got to be very, very mindful of Condi Clear. Twist of Fate to create a little bit of distance, trying to back out from him. Most of them Twist of Fating. No, not Twist of Fate, sorry, it's just a water heal. And once again, this is probably just going to be a battle of attrition, guys. They're just going to be duking it out between each other until that map mechanic. But Yusun is actually getting quite low over here. The resustain from him, he doesn't use fire, he uses water instead of fire. And we got King Prideful using fire instead of water. Drops the Swirly Winds to mitigate any projectiles coming into fire. Nice counter coming in from King Prideful. This is going to be a lot of just punching each other in the face, Homer Simpson, Mike Tyson style. Until the map mechanic. I don't think we're going to see anybody go down until the map mechanic. Actually, Sun is getting really low. Lots of burning. King Prideful resustaining, reapplying. Gets the blind on him. Uses that Ride the Lightning to get out of there really quickly. Resustaining. 35 seconds. This is where they want to start looking at their cooldowns. As you can see, it only took a couple seconds for Sun to get back up almost to 100% health. But he has used a lot of his heals. But it doesn't really necessarily matter. Sorry, Ginger Wars. The giveaway at the end is going to be one of those Quiznos codes. We're going to get a mini, 2 boosters, and a 10-slot bag. It's going to be after this match. Now we got 10 seconds left. This is where they want to try to put a little bit of pressure onto their opponent, and this is where things start to get a little interesting. Everything matters here. There's no more resustaining. There's no more healing. They do have barrier to their availability, but that's about it. And there's no miss. Yusun's in big trouble, and that's it. King Prideful just staying on top of him. Really, really strong. Let's take a look at that replay, guys. So that's Yusun who gets his 20 gold. Thank you so much for participating. And that's King Prideful that gets his 30 gold. Thank you, sir, so much for participating. Now we're going to do that giveaway, guys. Just give me a minute. I'm going to whisper these guys in Twitch chat. Not in Twitch, but in that. Perfect. Alright, guys, now it's time for the giveaway. Let me open up my giveaway machine. Where are you, giveaway machine? Nightbot. Oh, let me turn on my webcam. Say hi to you guys. Hey, guys. Hi.